This is the Euro Dragster podcast from Eurodragster.com, covering UK and European drag racing since 1997. Hosted by Graham and Chris. This bi-monthly show brings you the latest news, stories and updates from across the drag racing scene, with the occasional guest. This podcast is sponsored by Design by Binny. Now, let's get to it.
Welcome back to the podcast after our little enforced break there. So, yeah, welcome back to the Eurodragster.com podcast, this time for episode 12. Moving along, and to all, including us, it was a bit of a break. Didn't want it to be a break, but things happened in the background, some site work. We are refreshing the site, so we did some bits and pieces on that, and some rather long events happened. So we should really push on and say, let's put that back into the bin, filed under S for rubbish, and start again where we left off in episode 11. We basically finished off before Doorslammers with all the guys from guys and gals from the 760 Heads Up crew. They were eager to kick their season off, which in fact they did. We saw many cars, many events in the quiet time. Basically, Doorslammers main event, huge event, 4 days worth of heat and lots more heat, I'll add. And the Sportsman Nationals. So they were the three events that we managed to leap over. I would give you the results from Doorslammers and the main event, but you probably have seen all of those anyway, and you probably know who they are just from seeing all the social media posts and our live reports. Well, I would hope you would have seen it from our live reports. But congratulations to all the drivers and the riders who took part in those events. A massive field of international drivers and riders for the main event. And it just seems that as the UK especially, we have trouble dealing with the weather in some shape or form, whether the meeting is held up by rain or extreme sunshine, which I believed caused a few issues on the track. I can't go into that because I am just a mere mortal. I don't know what happened truly on the track. I know it was very hard for the marshals to keep it in its tip-top form. It's good to see that they give their all every single time, and I know everybody that mentions all the marshals and the track staff and all the crews that deal with the top end and the start line and the quarter mile, they have such admiration for these guys. They give everything and take little in return, which is phenomenal. So let's go back to last weekend for the Sportsman Nationals. This, in all fairness, we should celebrate the winners from that. That was the most recent event. As it stood, 2 days of great racing, and we finished early, which was fantastic. It's very difficult to say that we do that these days because things do happen, incidences do happen, and we just have to muddle through them. And it was great to see everything fall into place on those 2 days. So let's look at the classes as my live reports give those winners. A double win for Stuart Thompson for Kiwi in Nostalgia Superstock and Big Bracket. 760 Heads Up was won by Phil O'Brien. Congratulations to him. First major victory out on the 760 run. Outlaw Anglia was taken by Nigel Green. Gasser Circus went to Honky Tonk and Steve Matthews. VW Pro Sam Young in the Beetle, the black electric-powered Beetle. VW Sportsman was taken by George Miller. Sportsman ET, Dan Holloway, just pipping Kirsty Tram to that first place in the final. Front-wheel drive, Emma Goddard in the glitch. Never any doubt, that car is phenomenal, and that driver, she is phenomenal. 100E Challenge, taken by Steve Watson. Supercharged Outlaws, Jack Williams in Evil Edna 2. Absolute phenomenal car. Unbelievable every time it comes to the start line. Funny Bike, Mike Ollie. Super Street Bike, Josh Stubbins. 850 Bike, Gary Hester. 950 Bike, Alex Hope. Comp Bike, Dan Diath. ET Bike, Phil Pratt. Junior Drag Bike, Harry Isaacs. And then bringing a close to those winners, Steve Howe for the Old School Stockers or Nostalgia Pro Stock Bike, whichever way you look at the class. So well done to all the drivers and riders from Eurodragster.com. Just as an addendum to those winners, we have had time now to see that all the points for that round have been uploaded to the SPRC website. So tune in, go and have a look, see who your current leaders are in the classes. And congratulations. Let's take a trip back to the main event. I've got to be honest, I apologise for that event from my behalf. I suffered a bit with the extreme heat, as I'm sure most of the people did. Say we're very underprepared in this country for extremes in weather, and also my technology decided to let me down a bit. It felt the heat. Perhaps I should have I really should have a backup plan, something in store to basically, if I need to fall back on something, to use it. The problem with the tower is there is an absolute refrigerator or it's an absolute greenhouse. But by the by, I wasn't to know that at that time. I've never experienced heat in the tower like that. So let's move on and let's have a look at some way of combating that in the future. I thank you for all you people that messaged me and said, I hope everything was okay. Is there anything we can do? It was okay. I managed to get caught up on the information later on. I know that the event overrun on the Monday night quite succinctly. It was hard. It was just the weather was phenomenally hot. So after the wins at Doorslammers main event, Tiep, and even round one of the Carl Cox Motorsport Series, we're now in the countdown to possibly one of the best nostalgia events in Europe, namely Dragstalgia. Is infamous as possibly one of the most grandest stages for nostalgia racing. This year, it's pretty much the forefront for the Nostalgia Cannonball, and it's possibly got the greatest lineup I have ever seen. There are cars from the previous round. The previous round winner, Lee Bates, is hopefully back. I know he had an engine failure towards the end of the event. Still won, but had a major engine problem afterwards. I know for a fact that he did have a spare engine, and I believe that that is all in and ready and raring to go. Also, alongside Lee Bates in the Raptor Altered is quite a list of new returning UK drivers, as well as some international drivers, all bringing their A game. So alongside that, we are working on the Hall of Fame auction on the website. I know Chris has posted quite a lot of information, as well as the Hall of Fame site on socials have posted a lot of information of the auction that will be starting on the event. There are details online on our social media posts and the Eurodragster.com site in the news section of how you can make your bid on any of those items. I understand there is quite a lot of items up for auction this year. What else have we got to say? We're building up to the release of the the 2026 inductees into the British Drag Racing Hall of Fame. These inductees are released during the event. We will go live on Eurodragster.com with all the information as they are announced at the track. So let's just take a trip round the website at the moment. So we have online some news articles concerning the British Drag Racing Hall of Fame. It's their 20th anniversary this year, alongside the 60th anniversary of Santa Pod Raceway. Online as well is the Sportsman National galleries provided by Julian Hunt. As ever, some excellent work there. Great pictures. You can download them, but I would ask you just to keep the watermarks attached. There are a continuing release of the Pioneer stories. There's a new one just come out. Give that a read. I always read those. They are fantastic reading, no matter what. As we mentioned, the ACU/UK championship points have been updated. As for race reports concerning the Sportsman Nationals and TIEP, we have a great race report provided by Suze and Phil Pratt for Satan's Lady. That's always a good read. Always thankful for them to pass their information forward. There's also a TIEP report with the Heaven and Hell team. And also, let's take a trip into the Swift snippets from the website. So working backwards, we start the 16th of June. And happy birthday, or happy belated birthday, I should say, to Yindia Erbacher, the ex-Top Fuel champion. German comp eliminator Bernd Rudolph, former commentator Steve Young, Honky Tonkin Racing Steve Matthews, 2 mentions in the same podcast. Better talk to Steve Matthews in the future. That would be lovely. And then Bandit Bomb, Junior Dragster Crew Chief Steve Cassisi. Moving ahead 24 hours to the 17th of June, Wild Bunch racer Faye Hearn, Supercharged Outlaw Crew Chief Martin Hannis, and Top Fuel racer Timon Letamaki. So, yep, 18th of June. I'll bring you up to date to the 18th of June. Special mention and a happy birthday to Tog's wife, Kay, long-suffering wife. 850 bike racer J. Rowe. Sportsman ET and Pro ET racer, Crew Chief, Hall of Famer Brian Huxley, 84, I believe, still racing strong. Supercharged Outlaws crew member Hilary Grabham. And top methanol racer Esco Recevio. Sorry if I butchered your name. I do apologise. But yeah, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to all of those. Going back to Dragstalgia, and I seem to be jumping around quite a lot, and I do apologise for that. We look at a social media post that popped up yesterday. That would be the 18th. I'm recording on the 19th. Would be a social media post concerning the Nostalgia Cannonball. It's popped up online. The Nostalgia Cannonball pairings for Q1, 2 and 3 have all been pretty much predetermined. Not looking too far into the lineups, but the qualifying heats, we're eager to see quite a few international drivers make their Nostalgia Cannonball debut alongside returning competitors. And quite eager to see one competitor, for obvious reasons, that it would be part of our trio who joins us in the background. Dave Nelson is coming back out in his slingshot Doris Dormouse. His first lineup against Eric Wallander, Adam Clayton for Q2 and Mick Checkett for Q3. And it's an obvious return. And we're looking for, it's obvious reasons, we're looking for Dave Nelson in the car. He's our background boffin, and he really does make our jobs easier. And he listens to all our agony and woes concerning the site. And he does make it comfortable, and he does make it work, which is fantastic. And I'm ever thankful to Dave Nelson. We don't actually ever give him enough credit, but all power to him in the lineup of Nostalgia Cannonball. Moving on, the 4th and 5th of July sees the pull-up event at Santa Pod Raceway. And most importantly, for all you hardened drag racers out there, because pull-up is quite a lifestyle event, it's the second round of the Carl Cox Motorsports Series. Currently, Jere Rantiniemi sits on top of the table with 178 points. He's followed by the Carl Cox Motorsport CUDA team with 146, and then Andy Robinson makes up third place, and that's your top three with 139 points. As it stands, I'm aiming to provide live reporting from those heats over the 2 days of the pull-up event. That I have a system in place, and I shall bring you all the relevant data as and when it becomes available. I know that I've been in touch with Centerpod today to see if the event will be live streamed, and those rounds of the Carl Cox Motorsport series, I believe, are going to be live streamed. The whole pull-up event, probably not, but the Carl Cox Motorsport series events will. So that leads us on quite quickly, I'm afraid, to today's interview. Today's interview was recorded a few days ago, prior to this gentleman's trip overseas. We decided that we wanted to get another tick in our book for basically taking our journey round the classes, and it's just fell in our lap that this gentleman contacted us earlier in the month and said, I really fancy coming to join you. And I'm glad he did, because this chap is a seasoned competitor, been around for quite a few years, as you will hear from the chat we had with him. So we chat with VWDRC driver extraordinaire, basically Mr. Jon Gallant. This was, as I say, prior to him in his Sirocco driving out to Germany, a 6-hour journey beyond the Harwich ferry, to go to VW itself and celebrate a meeting with the Sirocco guys and gals internationally. So enjoy that. We enjoyed chatting to him. It was great to speak to Jon. I will catch you on the other side of the chat. See you soon. Welcome back to our guest slot for the EuroDragster.com podcast. You already know me. I'm Graham. You already know Chris. I'm staring. I'm staring at Chris. Nobody knows this, but we do on a video call, so I can see Chris and I can see when he disappears, and I can see him drinking beer sometimes as well. Which
not tonight. I've got.
He's got a fizzy drink that other fizzy drinks are available. Right. Oh, well, there we go. Anyway, so our guest is another tick in our box for all of our classes that we're trying to speak to people from. This time it's in the wonderful world of VWDRC and VW Sportsman. And let's say good evening, because it is being recorded in the evening, midweek, to Jon Gallant. Good evening, sir.
Guys. Hello, guys. How are we always?
We are doing grand. Yeah. How are you and where are you?
Well, I'm currently speaking to you from a hotel room in Harwich, because I'm about to jump on the boat to Germany to take one of my Siroccos to meet in Eichenball near Frankfurt.
Right. So, when you say one, how many do you own?
I've got two now.
Oh, right.
I've got my...
Now, are they classed?
Yeah, I've got my...
are they classed as Mark 1s still? Or?
Mark 2s, one's an 88, one's a 90.
Ah, so you see, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm not up to speed on a lot of VW current editions, so I will bow down to any of the VW DRC and not put my foot in it by saying what it is and then getting it completely wrong. So
fair enough.
It's a car. It's a VW Sirocco. I know that. It's in my head, that's the original body shell. So
yeah,
the newer one.
Cool. Yeah, Marlon Golf underneath. So
let's see. There you go. Didn't know that. So you're, as you say, you're currently in Harwich, waiting to get on a ferry to go and drive in Germany. Did you say?
Yes. So the I took my green one across Germany 2 years ago because there was the 50th anniversary meet of the Sirocco because they came out in 1974. So me and another English guy drove over. We got some Dutch mates that we had met up with, and it was in where was it? Huppenrode, which is just sort of mid sort of Western Germany, and it was 600 plus Siroccos.
That's quite a lot of Siroccos.
Yeah, just a few. So that was an experience. And then I've sort of met it with the Dutch guys a few times, and I'm going with the same guys again now. So it's a 6-hour drive from where my friend lives, just north of Amsterdam. So it's going to be fun. I think in the 30-something-year-old cars with no air conditioning when the temperature is due to hit 34.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old cars are great, don't get me wrong, but some of them don't have all the mod cons. Saying
this should be
saying that I do actually saying I actually do drive a car that has aircon and don't use it. I prefer the window. Figure that one out.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I've never quite worked out aircon. I don't know why. My wife tells me I'm absolutely mad, but we'll sort it out. So I've did a little bit of homework, and I haven't gone back as far as I probably should have. But have you always been a competitor in VW Sportsman?
Yeah. So I started off. I think I remember. I've been a member since like 2020. Because a friend of mine, Scouse, was a member as well. He's like, "Oh, you should join it. You know, we can do this racing thing." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds good." And then I was a member since then. And then from 2021, I was sort of like doing all the, investigation, like what bits are needed, the right SFI stuff and all that stuff, just to make sure I got it right. And then my rookie season was 2022.
So, with that said, obviously, did you start in a TT? Because when I picked you up, you were in I would assume the 1.8. Was the 1.8 turbo?
Yeah. So that was. When did I pick that up? Sort of back end of 23, 24. I did want to buy a car to go racing, but I had a couple of deals fall through, and of course I had this 1990 green Sirocco, which everyone will know for having the really odd wheels on it. If people are aware of that. Darryl waxes lyrical every time it comes along. So it's not Sirocco without wheels again.
Yeah, Darryl does have a bad habit of creating mental images of people from the cars. I know Chris. Chris has got a tagline, in which we did write on his car in the end. So. Yeah,
it's appeared on my car overnight.
So
yeah, that's quite good.
Darryl, if you're listening, and I know he does listen to this podcast because he was the one that gave me feedback. You are responsible for quite a lot of names from Don't Lift, Top Fuel Carl Goldsmith. Don't Lift Dave. There's lots of people.
Website on wheels.
Website on wheels. We won't mention that. That's locked away in a garage somewhere, not to come out for a while. But there you go.
No.
But I say it's very difficult for me because I often say that I don't actually know people. I know people through their cars because that's all I see. I'm slowly with this podcast. I'm actually slowly getting to know more and more people outside of the cars, which is great, because one of the things I do envy is, like, I don't know, Colin's been doing it a lot longer than I have, and is his knowledge beyond, same as Thomas Cook Abbott, their knowledge beyond the race circuit is immeasurable, and that's the sort of thing I hanker for. I do write things down. I'm probably, what are we into? 3rd year of doing this, and I'm now into my 5th book, so I do avidly scribble, and I do write things down. We'll go back to what we said earlier in the podcast, which was about the TEP results. There's a lot of scribble over that. But I digress. So So I believe Takakat is your name of choice.
Yes.
So there,
This is
yeah. So I picked you up in Takakat 2. So I assumed that there was a 1.
Yeah, that was the green Sirocco.
Ah, so the green Sirocco, and then that became the Audi TT.
Yeah.
Which now actually seems to be a bit of a weapon of choice in VW Sportsman and Pro a bit.
Yeah. They got down to that point. It's like when a couple of years ago when the Mark IV Golfs were cheap. I think a lot of the Mark 1 TTs have now dropped to that point. And I mean, I picked mine up off another racer for 900 quid.
Oh,
you know,
and you can't. Yeah, you cannot quibble at that, can you? You can't say, "Well, there's a race car. Off we go."
Yeah, like you see in standard form, it's a 15, 14 second car. You know, it's not exactly slow.
And with my you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. As I said, I did my homework. I ducked into the VWDRC website. VWSP 493 2001 Audi TT 1800cc with a 225 BAM engine with Quattro ram air filter, stripped out Volks workshop map, approximately 260 brake. Does that sound about right?
That was last season.
Yep.
So that was I went up to Chris at Volks workshop to sort out a few other bits and just sort of check a map on it at the same time. But the clutch decided to give up on the rollers. So it was an approximate tune.
Okay.
Which sort of led to you having nothing and then just a big, like almost like the out of 80s Porsches, you'd have nothing, everything. So it was an interesting drive, shall we say.
But yeah, I'm only harking back to me being in the tower. For this is my 3rd year of doing what I do. It's one of those mainstays, and I talk about. We've talked about with previous guests. When we look at Wild Bunch, we always think of Rob and Pete Brown. When we talk about Junior Dragster, we talk about Luke Mugridge and TCA. We talk about them being quite prevalent people in classes. But when it comes to VW Sportsman, and I know Luke has always been around there, Luke Stevenson, and I know Lily is now making waves within the classes, but your name is one of those that's synonymous with that class. You know, it's one of those that I can look at a car now and instantly know who it is without even seeing a race number. But you're testing me now that you've changed the car, but you've kind enough to sort of kept part of the original name that so I know exactly who it is. So
yeah, it's, I don't know if you guys know of Dave Dawson. He's responsible for Taco Cat thing because it came from me having because I've done Siroccos for years, and every year there's like what they call it, the crap shirt competition. So you just go onto Amazon and find the worst Hawaiian shirt or Hawaiian theme shirt ever. And mine had lots of cats in Mexican things. and I'd worn it at Bard. I think it must have been Breakout, which covered Action in COVID year. And I was standing on the old crossing with my mate Scouts, and Dave comes past pushing Charlie Roberts' V5 up. And he looked at me and he went, "That shirt is bloody awful. It needs to be a thing." and that's how it starts. And of course, Taco Cat it's a palindrome like race car. So it was. And I know the penny dropped with Colin and Luke the other year, and I'm sitting there listening to the commentary in my car, and I'm just going, "Really? It's taken this long?"
It probably has. It probably has.
Yeah.
Because I know Colin talks a lot to people in the pits, and he sort of spreads his time. He networks quite a lot. He came to me the week at the Sportsman Nationals, and he said, "Oh, right, we've got a nice early evening tonight. Off we go, and I'm going to spend a lot of time in the pits." And he came back, and he came back the next morning on the Sunday morning. I said to her, "How long was it?" And he went, "Yeah, I sort of left here at 6:30 and got to my caravan at 9:30. So, and it's probably only like 500 yards from the tower to his caravan, but that's how the pits are, really. They are, and I know the VWDRC have, from past experience, I know that they have quite a party atmosphere in some of the events. I'm sure Bug Jam is going to be one of those for this year. So
yeah, Bug Jam's usually the big one, but I mean, there's a few of us who sort of we pit in the same area, and I think Polly Judge said, "Oh, you guys know your Pol, I guess." She's always called us a drinking club with a racing habit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So, let's say I dig back through some of the things. Through Bug Jam, I dug through the Sportsman Nationals, the Green Light Nationals, and looked at a lot of your timings actually. And it's been throughout the past 3 years pretty even. I saw the Green Light Nationals from 2023. So would you have been in Takacat 1 then in 23?
No, I was in the TT then, I think.
Because your indexes and your race times around that time were considerably faster.
Yeah, there was the TT was a labour of, well, not labour of love, a labour of money.
Ah, right.
It wasn't. We get sort of 2 steps forward with it and another step back. And I think it was what year was it? Bug Jam when the maths failed on it. I can't remember which Bug Jam it was. It might have been 24.
Right.
And it was one of the last Q runs, and it lets off the line like it normally does, like a moggy with mustard on its bum, and then just went. Ugh. And yeah, I did a 24-second run, and the math had completely melted.
Oh dear.
But that involved me. I didn't participate past the qualifiers, and that one I got bumped out.
So saying that, Bug Jam 2023 was pretty much a good year for you. So my little digging within the timing systems of Euro Dragster. Because we have the facility to go back quite a long way, and obviously Simon, my predecessor's race reports and things like that, I can dig through those. So 2023, your first round win was over Nigel Gregson, and I would assume that was Tirpitz. Is that right?
No, that's Nigel Gregg.
That's Nigel Gregg.
Nigel Gregson is Nigel Gregson's golf at golf race.
There we go. So win over that. Your index was 1738, and you pulled a 1740. So
yeah, that was in the Sirocco. Desperately at 17.
Next round, Flossie, you beat Lorraine. That was just as close. I mean, that was a 1735 with a 1737. So that was just as close. I didn't write the time down for your next round 3 because you got a bye into the next round.
Yeah, I got the bye. Yeah, I coasted that one.
And then you went out on the next round to Connor Jones.
Yeah, pesky Connor. and his dad Phil. His dad's Phil in that Passat. It's annoyingly predictable, and it's really hard to beat.
Yeah, we know a few racers like that, don't we, Chris? One racer in general.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
One 4-time champion in Sportsman ET. We won't mention his name because we don't want to big him up. But, he's annoying. But yes, I have to take it back now because he's changed his car. So I think he's got to relearn. He's doing well. He's double classing. So we'll keep that one quiet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Green Light Nationals. You went out second round, I think, in Green Light Nationals to Jake Fronda. So that would have been in the gold golf then, wouldn't it? Jake Fronda's previous car.
Yeah, I can't remember what he was running because he was chopping and changing between the Golf R and Nenor, and depending on which was double classing as well. So it's hard to remember what he was racing. Yeah, but I think it was probably the Golf R.
Yep. What else have I got here? I don't know actually what it was. That might have been Sportsman of that year. Was Caitlin Wilson? You lost round 1, and you went. You red lit, and you broke up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's like Rusty Juniors with their reaction times.
Don't you think that really does train them well? Because we see the progression.
Oh, absolutely. I always dread pulling Morgan or Caitlin because you know they're going to chop the tree down.
Skip ahead, 2024. Right, I've got 2 for 2024, and unfortunately, well, no, one was a round 1 and one was a round 2. So you broke out against Carl Goldsmith. That might have been Sportsman 24.
Yeah, that was Sportsman because he was racing. He was using his 18-second golf.
Yes.
From a Mastery Golf Estate, I think, and he absolutely nailed me to the tree. So yeah, I had no chance of winning that one, unfortunately.
So you would have been in the TT at that time because your time, your index is jumped by 2 seconds. So
yeah,
you went.
You can tell when it was TT. It was 14, 15. Yeah.
Yeah. So you dialed in a 15:32 and did a 15:20. So that was. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep my foot planted because he's obviously he was away in the distance.
Yeah. That's the thing. Just go for it, and everyone's get a data on, isn't it? So.
Well, Chris is a bit of a leader over me on this because obviously he races Sportsman ET, so he knows it a bit better than I do.
Yeah, much better.
And the only other one I say, who have I got now? Dominic Crawford.
The Crawford.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got Dominic Crawford taking you out in round 2, which you actually broke out.
Yeah, I think he went on to come second in that event. He was chasing Lily all season.
Yeah. And it seems that's the way Lily was moving that year. I think she's having a bit of a harder year so far in 2026.
Yeah, I think she's done all right, but I think weekend just gone, I think she was quite unlucky with the red. It was a 00 red.
Yes.
I think. And then she ran a perfect ET. Yeah.
Yep.
So yep.
And that's the way it seems to do. So what have I got to you? Oh, round 1. Tom went red in this year, so that was Sportsman of this past weekend. So you had Tom Circuit.
Yeah, that was a 002 or 3 red, I think, or an 02 red.
So
there was not much in it.
Very close.
And then there was a very close race with Poppy in the A3.
Yep.
Poppy Hunter.
Yep.
And she's a very, very good racer. And obviously she was double classed in front wheel drive this weekend as well. And she was getting all the runs and knew exactly what to dial, so it was going to be a hard push. And then the new Sirocco decided to pull a 1667 out of nowhere, which is, considering it's not really been breathed on yet, is quite impressive.
So with that being said, obviously you've now brought out the Sirocco for
the blue Sirocco.
Tachotronic, as it's now called, according to the number plate.
Yeah.
So that's now going to be your vehicle of choice for this year.
Yeah. Yes, and going forwards and now the dedicated race car, because the TT met an unfortunate demise at GTI Springfest a week before Sportsman Nationals.
All right.
It was on an absolute stonker of a run, and so I just had it back from Chris. I put a Link ECU in it, and it went, was it 13.6 or something? It was absolutely flying. Come around the top end, and it Christmas treed the dash like the battery had gone or run out of fuel, and then never started again.
Oh dear.
It's now been moved on. I think you guys know of Sambo Lutat or the Mighty Sambo. He used to race in. Used to have 4-wheel drive yellow Lupo that Joe Hall now owns.
Oh yes.
And was Paul Jackson's old Lupo. So he bought it, took it back up to Chris's Volks workshop, and the ECU had just completely melted.
Really? What, a Link?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cried. completely fried. We just, no idea. I mean, I got to the point I'd spent 3 days of, bypassing relays, fault checking everything. Even go to the point of, has it actually got fuel in it? Yes, okay. Luckily, my partner was able to come and rescue me. Thank you, Hannah. So we were able to trailer it home. But yeah, it's just, when you just lose the love and you're just like, nah, I want you gone now.
No,
you were fun. You were fun for a bit, but now you must go.
Yeah, you sort of lose the love a little bit, don't you? You sort of think, and you lose a little bit of trust, and you think, I'm not quite comfortable in this anymore. So,
it's not. That was the thing I always found with it. It was like, yes, it was quick, and yes, it's fun going quick, but I was like on eggshells with it because every time I lodged it hard, I was like, am I going to snap the prop?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I don't. It's just not fun. And of course, obviously, I broke that. And then it was literally like, well, I've got my green Sirocco from my rookie year, and from the boat jam, I got to like the quarterfinals. So then, okay, let's just bring this out. I know what it's going to run. Yeah. Let's go. And got to the semi-finals.
There you go. Go with what you know.
I
think is what you.
Well, yeah, go with what you know. Go with what's comfortable, and that was the reason. After that, it was just like when I got home, I was like, right, CT's going up for sale. Let's find another Sirocco.
Yep. And then you found. I believe this is this like a light blue Sirocco?
Yeah, it's a cause of some consternation because the colour is sapphire blue.
Yeah.
Most people say it's silver. In the right light, you can see the blue, but I'm not convinced. It says blue on the logbook, but there we go.
An expensive sunshine fade, should we call it? I don't know.
I think so. It is 38 years old, so it's getting on.
But as I say, go with what you know, and you feel comfortable. As you say, you started out your rookie year in the Sirocco, so why not just stay with something that makes you comfortable? I think a lot of people are looking now to enjoy what they do. I know that they enjoy it partly because of the fact that they're there, they enjoy what they do, they enjoy their racing. And to some people, that winning is winning, and some people that taking part is the winning part of it all. I think to a certain extent, and we've discussed this many times before on this podcast, is the you're not going to do it unless you're comfortable with it. So you get behind the wheel. You get behind the wheel of your car and you enjoy what you do. So that's part of. And I always said a win was a bonus. If I got from A to B and I was in one piece, then that's a success in my book.
Yeah, I mean it was a complete sort of test weekend this weekend. So obviously I had a rough idea because it's still a 1.8 injection. It still had the back end ripped out, so it was roughly the same as the green one, but the green ones had a bit of sort of tweaking to the K-Jet. Well, I make car from Skyrocket Automotive, who literally knows carbs and K-Jet like the back of his hand. But unfortunately, he's booked up till August. So we just kind of had to spaghetti at the wallet this weekend, as a few people say. But run one was a 17.25, and then I've got two 16.91 and 16.90. And then sort of I got that red light win in round one, so I think I backed off a bit, and then it went 16.67 in B2. So it was like, okay, so this is about where the other one is.
Yeah.
I'll bet that.
Yeah, and now you can take it and you can build on it. So you can look at where you need to chop and change and where you need to move things around.
I was what was I, third after Spring Speed Nationals, and I qualified 12th and got through to E2. So that's some points, Bill, because I just finished third last year. Between me and the guy in fourth, it was Josh Lee. And it literally came down to the fact that I'd made the final in Boat Jam that got and pushed me into third, not fourth. So I ended up with slightly more prize money, which is always nice.
Yep. So, out of all of your competing and all of your races, do you have a preferred opponent? Are you very much similar to other people, or do you say I'll just take anybody that comes?
I tend to take anyone that comes. Like I'll always look at what they've run in qualifying. I'm not as much as a professor about it as Mr. John Crawford with his spreadsheets. But I'll always take a look and just sort of dial accordingly. But then I'm always just like, I just like being racing. I'll take it if I go around. Brilliant,
Yep.
It was. I mean, I still can't believe I lost bug jump by running my first ever 13. Because the car just decided to go.
Yep.
And I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting." It's like, "Oh crap, this is too quick." Whoops, too late. Rounds is always a bonus, but it's always nice to just be racing and hanging out with mates. To be fair.
I think looking at your times and things like that, I mean, it's a surprise because I see it because I listen to the commentary as I'm typing, because that's quite an important source of information, because Colin keeps a lot of lots of PB data and things like that, and he is so surprised by breakouts. It's quite shocking. He goes, and then he looks at the time and he goes, "Oh yeah, it was a breakout. Unfortunately, they've lost that elimination, but." The times, and then he revels in the times, and I like that about Colin. He makes me smile when he does that. So,
yeah, I think it was even though Poppy broke out against him, she ran her new PB of 12.92, so she was jumping up and down at the top of it. She was more concerned. She's run a new PB. She's like, "Oh, I won as well." I won.
Yeah, never mind that. I just got the PB, and that's there's always the personal challenge of everything, isn't there? So you're always trying to beat yourself as well.
Yeah. It's always how much can I go, and that's like the fact that he managed to pull a 1667 in a relatively untested car.
Yep.
And I chopped my reaction time in half on that last one as well, so I've been doing 0.3 all weekend, and then pulled a 0.16 from somewhere. So it's just getting to know that car, and then we'll be hopefully going rounds again and getting a bit closer to dials, which would be nice.
Yes. So, with that question about obviously who do you like to race against, do you find yourself stuck against the same person all the time?
Thinking about it, I don't think so. No, there's always some people you pull on. I've not raced them for a bit, or that. I'll happily race anybody. I don't really have a nemesis. I don't think, or a nemesis, quote unquote. To sort of say, I don't like drawing them X, Y, Z. I'll have a crack at anyone. To be fair.
Well, I think that's a very fair assumption. You say if they just round the corner, you say, "Oh, I'm up against them, am I? I'll fine, I'll take that." But
I think there's a few people like Don Crawford kept a tally. I think we were 2-2 in the end, and then there's Josh Lee, but he's racing in pro this year, so he can't. I think I was 2-1 up.
Oh, you see, look.
So
now he's coming out. He's like, "No, sorry, mate, it's 2-1 up. Sorry, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I didn't make you leave. You went to pro. You went off your own volition. So
he did. Although I ended up racing the Golf again in his Golf, the Mark 5, which he given to one of the rookies this year. I did end up racing that again.
Yep.
I think spring speed. So yeah, in terms of cars I've raced, it's probably that Golf the most recently.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head really.
So
we always like to race. We always like to race our little friend group, which we affectionately call Team Filth. So you've got like.
I remember being part of a team a long time ago. I've raced but not raced. I've always been in the sort of like the official side of it. So I'm a licensed track official for the ACU and the FIM, but only the FIM, not the FIME, which is the real confusing part of motorcycling internationally. Is the sport that I'm an official in is in the FIM, but that sport isn't in the FIME, and vice versa. The FIM doesn't have a drag racing thing. The FIME does. It eludes my mind that there are two factions within motorcycling in the international circuit, but because funnily enough, 2 days at Sportsman Nationals, come home, get home 7 o'clock at night on the Sunday night, pack my bag, go to work the next day, go straight to another race meeting. So
No rest for the rookie day, Grant?
No, not at all, not at all. No, I was at a race meeting last night, and the team that I do some work for actually won, so I was very happy about that. But I didn't get home till 5. I didn't get home till 10:05, which is annoying. But that's the way it goes. And we all enjoy what we do. You love driving. You love tinkering with your cars and racing. I love the official sort of side. I mean, that's why I chose to do what I do with Eurodragster, because as we've said in quite a few of the podcasts, Chris will say exactly the same. When it came for our predecessor Simon to call it a day, it was going down the route of dying. Basically, it was never to. It was not going to happen. It was going to be. He was going to retire. And that was
we had 3 months to decide or do something because it was going to close at the end of March.
So when Simon said, "Look, I need to retire. I've done a lot here. It's tiring." We as in Chris, myself, and Dave just said, do you know what? We'll take it. And we'll run with it. And to tell you the God's honest truth, we are still running with it. And that we've spent quite a lot of time in the last 2 weeks with the third guy in the team rebuilding the site. So I know, and Chris knows, that there's a new site coming. So we've got to
I can't speak for everyone in the pits, but I know that everyone in our little bit, you've always got 2 tabs open on your phone. ET slips and Eurodragster.
Yeah.
So it's like, because you're always looking at who's run what, and then you're looking for the tables and the ladders.
Yep. And
they're always out on the Eurodragster. So it's like the support is there, and we all use it, and it's it's like it's an invaluable resource for us, really. Especially sometimes stuff takes a bit longer to get the pump hard, and it's like
blowing smoke off our own backsides here a bit. We decided when we took over from Simon that it needed to be dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century, and we made it, but we were letting it run the way it was always run, and we've now made the conscious decision that we are now going to make it ours. So we are doing things to the site that we wanted to do from day one, but we decided that perhaps it was best just to leave things well alone because they weren't broken. But like with live reports and things like that, and I speak from my own, I've changed a lot within there, and we report a lot more. We change a lot more. And the timing system's changed, so we had to morph with that, and I think that's a little bit with the drivers as well. The classes don't stand still, the cars don't stand still. People are always looking to push the envelope. People move cars, and that's one of the big things I say. I'm speaking off at a tangent. That's one of the things that I find amazing is, especially with Thomas, he said, "Oh, that car used to belong to such and such, and then it was such and such, and then it was somebody else's." And the cars seem to, once they get into Santa Pods, quite stay there, but always stay in a different look, a different livery, and a different owner. So they go through the car's life being part of other people's passion.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I find, commendable. So you've got this trip planned. So you're off to Germany. You're off for a long drive. Then what's next for you? Bug Jam?
No, it should be similar. So I tend to do all the events. I don't really have another hobby, to be honest. So, a lot of my money is racing. To be fair, I tend to, because we get bonus points for doing all the events on the DRC Championship. So it's good to keep points rocking.
Yeah, I mean, I find that very consistent as well. You don't necessarily have to win every event to win the championship. Yes, you have to be up high.
No.
You get points for doing things, just for being there, for doing the series, to do every meeting, and you will. As long as you're consistent.
Yeah.
It seems to be that's the way it works, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, we get an extra 300 points for doing all the events. So you get 100 for the first, 100 for the last, and another 100 for doing all 6.
Yeah.
So that could be the difference between, I finished third last year. Between me and 15th, I think was less than 300 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just doing that extra event, could be the difference between you winning prize money and not. I always try and do them all, just because A, it's something to do,
Mm-hmm.
but B, it's always nice to be out racing.
Yeah.
It's never a bad day when you're at the track, as many people say.
Yeah.
I've heard people like John Crawford and Dave Grundy from ET Bike, and lots of other people say that's never a bad day at the track. So I think that's a good mantra to sort of insert there.
And Dave Grundy, I mean, look at the amount of times he's been to the track. And going on that, Robbie Dobby, and the only reason I remember this is Colin does say this quite a lot. I mean, this is his 50th year of racing.
I know, it's incredible.
It's fun,
and he's got it's got one of the best names in racing as well.
Yeah.
It's just
and you that can't be right. And then no, that's his name. And he went, no, you're having me on, because I know Darryl likes to tease me. Colin's a little bit more serious, and I know Luke tries to catch me out sometimes, but Luke is a great person to chat to. He's very knowledgeable, very clever man, very clever man. I think he was not very impressed this past weekend. And I know he's developing a lot within his golf, so it was.
I mean, the fact they've thrown that gearbox in like less than a week.
Yeah. And
some people barely managed to do that in a season. So the fact that I don't know how much Luke actually does, quote unquote, but I know it'll be Andy Vose and Jamie who. And probably a bit of help from Gordon Dart from Street Races as well. Mm-hmm. That's throwing that together, and to chuck a whole DSG gearbox in a week and have it running. It's still impressive, despite the fact he didn't get maybe the results he was looking for. No,
and it is a learning curve. I think every time you change something, and it was when I did compete in my chosen thing, which was actually cars, but they were standing still. They never did go anywhere. It was, you can't change too many things at once because you don't know what made the difference. If you start doing 10 things and you think, oh, what actually was that? And you'll never find it. You'll, as you say, you'll be constantly chasing things. So and I know that car is going through quite a lot of changes, iterations, and now obviously the gearbox has gone in, and it's now you've got to fettle with that to make it do what you want to do. And I know he won't give up. He'll keep bashing away at it because that's just the person. Yeah. That's just the person he is. We will get him on here one day. I'm sort of like a little bit scared to get him on, if I'm honest. And if Luke listens to this and he's struck, and I know he will, he'll say, he'll probably send me a message and say, I don't know what you're on about. I'm a teddy bear, but he's a character, and Luke is Luke, and I think he's great for who he is, and he's a great advocate for racing. So, and that's how it seems to be with all of the races these days, whether it be from Sportsman, VW Sportsman, all the way through. Let's go all the way up to Top Fuel. Look at Colin Miller stepping up from his Outlaw Anglia to Top Fuel, which is the absolute pinnacle of the tip of the top of the pile. Given the opportunity, off he goes and does it. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Exactly. It's one of those golden ticket opportunities, isn't it? So I say, here's an opportunity to drive the fastest thing on the planet. Yes, please. Where do I sign?
Yeah. Hold my beer. I'm off. But it's a shame. The way it works for a race event for me is I get very little time to step away from the tower, and that's a great shame because I want to go and see some things, and I know that the next one for us is Dragstalgia, so, and I know Chris is coming to Dragstalgia, so I'm hoping that he's kind to me and he does some of the reports and he lets me go for a wander. But I can see his face and he's like, yeah, righto, you're staying put.
We'll have to see.
I think the word cakes is being mentioned there.
You've dropped it on me for national finals already, so.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, something.
Second year running.
Yeah, but it's a bit with. I'm a bit of a workaholic, so I do my day job. In the race season, I obviously do a lot for Euro Dragster. When that finishes, my other race season, which is Speedway, that finishes. So then I shift into winter job, which is I'm a licensed pyrotechnician. So I go and do a lot of firework displays. So being a typical workaholic, I can't sit still. Doing a podcast is quite difficult because I have to sit down and talk. But I'm on the move 90% of the day. But then when I stop, I absolutely crash.
Yeah, no, I used to be like that. I think you sort of you have a mindset, you just go on, and then by the time you actually stop, you're just like, oh, smack, gods.
And what I get my kick out of is, and I would like to race, and I say this is I've started doing this a lot, and we were talking to Mark Corsell and the Limited Funds team, and we were talking about that, and added to that, happy birthday, Mr. Cassisi. I know it's your birthday. We were saying, what if anybody came to you and said, "Here, drive this car," what would be that car? Would it be still a VW for you, or would it be any car in the grid is yours for the day? What would you drive?
No, there's a question.
Yeah.
To be honest, as much as I like the theatre of Top Fuel, I think throw me the keys to a Pro Mod.
Everybody.
I think I'd have more fun.
Everybody. Pro Mod is totally where it's at the moment. It really seems to be where people see the passion, you get the speed, you get the look, you get the car, and I think that's what everybody wants. Because I look at Fuel Funny Car and I look at Top Fuel Dragster, and I think, yeah, they're an absolute speed demon, but you're at the whim of tyres and wind conditions and things like that, and everything. There are so many variables to get that car to do the 300 mile an hour that it needs to do to win, to get everybody going, oh my God, that's an absolutely unbelievable run. But Pro Mods just seem to lay it down every single time.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favourites has always been Kev Slyfield's Blown Bird, and if I had the money, I would have bought that. It's one of my absolute all-time favourite cars in Pro Mod.
Yeah, you see, now there's another thing. Yeah, I sat down and said, now I've known, let's say Kev had that car up for ages for sale, and I was like, it's like Wayne Nicholson. I look at him and I go, what if? But I'm similar, but I'm slightly different, and I'm pro stock for me. Because yes,
I think it'd be nice to see that over here, one more pro stock.
Yeah, you get all the power, you get all the runs and the looks and things like that, but it's made up purely on engine, and that's the rawness of it for me, and that's what I like. You have no power adders whatsoever, and I think that's the test that I like about pro stock. So, for
me it would be Pro Mod.
Yeah, you want Andre's car, don't you? Really?
No. John Tevenham's Fabulous McQueen sounds tempting, but I haven't got the money.
Oh yes, that went up for sale, didn't it?
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, and we know the reason it's up for sale. But
is JC moving up to make bigger clouds?
Maybe. He has aspirations on something, and we also know from this past weekend, and I'll mention no names. An acquisition of a Nostalgia Funny Car has been made, with plans to bring that back to the track because it's been laid up for a long time. So I know somebody has made a deal on a Nostalgia Fuel Funny Car to get that back racing, which is always great to hear and will always be great to see. On that note, and I'll just add this in, and I know it sounds a bit weird, we talk about the three guys that run Euro Dragster, Chris, myself, and Dave. Dave has entered Dragstalgia, Nostalgia Cannonball with his car. He signed
with his slingshot.
Yeah, he signed up. He signed up. That was released today, so that's going to be a heck of a thing. And we also know of a possible other car that's coming, but not to race. So I hope that car that we were told about earlier in the year does come out, because that would be fantastic to see. And I say I'm digressing a little bit now. Time is moving on. When does your ferry leave? Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Bright and early?
8 o'clock. It's not so bad. My day shifts are like 6 a.m, so it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. No.
It's not bad.
No. And they say on the ferry all the way over the water, and then 6 hours, or is that 6 hours after you've connected with your friend?
So I have my Dutch friend called Tinus is quite nicely putting me up again at his house, where he has not just a man cave, but it's called a Scirocco man cave.
Oh.
Because there are enough parts there to probably rebuild several Mark IIs and a couple of Mark I's.
Oh, so he's an avid fan.
Oh, he is. He's the Scirocco lot. We're all kind of a bit older, but we're all absolutely mad about them because nobody else is.
Yeah.
And we really like ours. And like he's got 5.
Oh, right.
Including an automatic, which I think he's now turned to a manual, and I'm bringing the automatic box back to somebody. But he has nothing on our other friend Sander, who lives in Annapolena, which is a bit further north, Holland. He's got 9.
Oh, blimey. What was that? Was that saying that? No, was it? Yes, I believe it was. Scott Liebischer, the man that drives Copos. The American gentleman that comes over and races. They go, oh yeah, he's big in the Copo world, and we're like, oh right, okay. How many does he own then? 20. and one's not cheap.
Yeah, well, they're all sort of, what do they only make, like 20 a time or something?
Yeah.
The Copos?
Yeah, and you have to be invited to have one, though, do you not? If I understand.
Yeah, I think you do, because it's such a small volume.
Yeah.
Thing that they put out, and they're not even road legal. I don't think, are they?
No. That might have been the other. That might be Barton. I don't know. There are 2 names that came over, but I'll stand corrected if somebody probably actually will send me a message and say, no, you're wrong. It's this person. And if you do, please do. I'm sort of like digging in the cobwebs of my brain trying to find the name. And Scott Liebischer, I know, does race Copos. But yeah, early start, hook up with your friends, 6-hour drive to do something that you believe heavily in, which is quite a thing.
Yeah, I will be the young Englishman there. I went to there's a club called it's the North Holland Scirocco and Corrado Club, and I went to a meet of theirs in Borculo, which is East Holland, last year. I was the only English person. And one of the guys that runs it, called Frank, who's a typically eccentric Dutchman, decided to get me to pick like the best Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. But then spoke to the crowd entirely in Dutch and German, at which I'm just sort of standing there like a lemon smiling. Just like, I think he said something along the lines of, if you don't like what it's chosen, this is the guy that did it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, thanks, mate.
But yeah, on that note, where are you? You're obviously looking to push hard through VW Sportsman this year.
Yes, it'd be nice to either replicate last year's 3rd place or try and get a bit further up. Some silverware would be nice,
well,
as always.
If you finish 3rd, there are 2 places above you, which are a claim to fame. So
yeah.
So
it would be nice.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I got the runner-up to Bug Jam last year, and it's sitting very nicely on my mantelpiece.
Yeah. So
it's kind of a nice little incentive to then go, look, you've got a shiny thing. Go get more shiny things.
Yeah. I've won one. I want more.
Yeah.
One doesn't look enough. Yeah.
No. Well, unless your name's John Crawford and you need a bigger trophy cabinet. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm just going to. So we're still settling the car. Hopefully, and keep it in the mid-16s, which is nice, and try and get a bit further along. I don't think I'm going to be able to do much more to it this year.
Right.
Would always like, if money no option, I'd like to get a set of skinnies on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just dragging some 15x7s behind you that aren't doing anything doesn't really help.
No, I get that.
So, and it's stripped out as much as I'd like it to be. There's a few guys in our camp that are like just Adam, who proves Jason Anslow with the Schools Drag Beetle.
Yep.
And Scouse who proves for Jackie Rowan and Ginny the Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just like, well, you can rip this out, rip that out. I'm like, just leave it alone. I just let me progress.
Yeah, a bit at a time, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Well, as I say,
we'll get it consistent, and then we'll poke it with a stick.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear. And as I say, it's been good to chat. It's been good. That's another tick for our book for VW Sportsman. I'm going to harangue Luke, and probably that'll be good for VW Pro. If his daughter comes on, it might end up, another Thomas Cook Abbott Harley Corsell meeting, which is quite funny because I think.
I think if you put Lily and Luke in on one, you could literally let them do their own podcast episode. I think.
Yeah, I'll just say hello.
You wouldn't need to say a thing.
Yeah.
Just hello. Throw something into the pit and poke them with a stick, and off they go.
Yeah. I know. Luke is quite adamant he has to beat his daughter because every matchup they've had, she's sort of beaten him, and he's not too happy. I think he said it was 2-1 was the last time, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, 2-1, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know he's adamant to get that back on even terms.
I think that'll be in the shootout on Friday at Boat Jam, I fear, this year.
Yeah. A typical grudge match. We'll go and see if we can get some money on it, shall we? An American style, a start line bet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, to find your journey, to find your.
It's been great. Yeah.
Enjoy your international trip.
Thank you very much.
And if you feel like jotting some words down and sending us some pics, please do. We're always eager to share them on the site.
Yeah.
That's what Euro Dragster was made for. It was not necessarily all about the competition. It's all about the individuals, and that's what I believe that fuels Euro Dragster is the people that are there that supply us all the information. So we are ever grateful to people sending us race reports, their journeys, their things, and hence then the podcast came about because we like to make an audio version of that as well, because I know I like to listen to podcasts in cars and as I'm driving, and it sort of soothes my brain a bit. But thank you for joining.
I mean, I caught up with a few on the way down here. So.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
So have fun. See you soon.
I'm sure, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're back. Thank you for keeping with us here at the Eurodragster.com podcast. As we say, that interview was recorded a few days ago prior to Jon boarding the ferry and then driving to Germany to meet up with his friends and to go to Wolfsburg, as I remember, for a VW event. And I thoroughly enjoyed chatting to Jon, catching up on his history on the Siroccos and the Audi, and his mishap with the Audi, and now back in the Sirocco, I think, where he feels more comfortable. All power to him in the VWDRC and the Sportsman class. It was great to chat to him, and we thank him for contacting us in the first place. So, that being said, let's wrap this podcast up with our last few bits and pieces. We always talk about the up-and-coming. So let's go through some dates, and obviously we touched on it earlier. The 26th to the 28th of June is the Dragstalgia event at Santa Pod. Also, on the 27th and 28th of June in Castres, France, is the 30th European Dragster event. And what have we got? Funnily enough, 27th and 28th of June, it seems to be a popular weekend. We have the Manston Showdown 2, the Streetcar Shootout in Manston Park. Moving on to the 4th of July, Dakota Raceway, we have a Drag and Drift event. Also, that weekend of the 4th and 5th of July at Manston Park, we have No Guts, No Glory 2. Also, the pull-up event of the 4th and 5th of July at Santa Pod. So it seems everything that I have in my up-and-coming events seems to be happening on 2 weekends, which is also very good to see. But let's see what the weather brings for those events. I'm sure the way that the weather is going at the moment, it is going to be glorious. Let's also mention basically the contact emails for this podcast. And I'm going to say thank you very much for all your feedback, good and bad, and your support for previous episodes of this podcast, and to all our previous guests. Thank you for joining us. I know some of the recording has been a bit wayward, and I hope we have rectified that with this episode. I know that during the interview with John, there was a little bit of echoing in the background. You probably heard my voice twice over, which is, I do apologise. But it happens when you're contacting people on the phone and they have you on a speakerphone. So it does. It's like listening to yourself on the radio when you're going live. So if you want to join us on this podcast, I would love you to join us on this podcast. You come and have a chat with us. Doesn't matter if you're a driver, a rider, a crew chief, a family, a friend, or you just want to make your story heard and have a chat and come and spend your time with us. We are grateful for basically everybody that comes to join us on this podcast. We really are. I didn't think it would get this far. We're still plodding on. I know, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a bit of a break. We're back in the swing of things now. I do have another episode lined up for next week with, I believe, it's our first international guest. So we'll see how that phone call goes. That'll be good for a laugh. He is, I'll say he, that's a bit of a giveaway. He is joining us from Europe. A very knowledgeable chap. You will hear from him in due course. I also know we've got some a revisit from some previous guests. You will see on social media that we have got one lined up, and that has been very public. And so I'm basically regretting saying yes to TCA and Harley Corsell. I think everybody else is saying you're a fool, but I'm game. I really am game. We'll see how that goes. And we've got a visit of Declan Butt to give us a bit of an update after his season is progressing. I know a first round, first win, but he's certainly doing himself proud this season. So, yeah, we've got those lined up to come in the future. As I say, if you'd like to come and join us, drop us an email, drop us a message on social media. We'll get it in somehow. So the email for the podcast is podcast@eurodragstalgia.com. Also, you can share your news, your race reports, your bits and pieces, your classifieds and everything on eurodragstalgia.com. But also, if you want to share your race reports, you can email us direct at news@eurodragstalgia.com or editor@eurodragstalgia.com. They will get to us sooner or later. We are working in the background with a refresh of our website. So as soon as that is complete, and I know Dragstalgia we just need to get Dragstalgia out of the way first, because obviously Dave is helping immensely with that refresh and racing and rebuilding his car at the same time. So we just want to get Dragstalgia out of the way before we do anything concrete with that. We hope that it's going to show us as we wanted it to be. It's time that we refreshed it to where the site we want it to be. So let's hope that that does us proud and you will like where we're going. So with that being said, thank you for joining us. I say us every time, but it's me. Joining me. All I have to say is stay safe, stay humble, and basically race on. Do your do your best on that track, and we will always see you somewhere along the line. We'll see you in the next one. Join us soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
That was the Euro Dragster podcast. For drag racing news, reports, galleries and classifieds, visit eurodragster.com. Join Graham and Chris next time for more from the world of drag racing.